Animations. This is what we're going to talk about today. UI animations. How they work and how you can use them in your projects to create interesting interactions. Already? Let's go. There are a lot of types of animations for the UI. You have position animation, so move. You have rotation, scale, fade, or transparency. You can have a color animation from red to green, and you have a smooth transition. That is an animation. Or you can have a frame by frame animation. Basically, you have several PNGs and you display them in a sequence at a set frame rate, FPS. For this tutorial, we're gonna keep it basic, although it's not basic. Animations are quite complex because they have a lot of settings. And we're gonna use the UI Animator that it's inside Doozy UI. Actually, it's inside Reactor. Let's get started. So here I have an empty project and I'm gonna set it up with a simple image that we'll be animating. I'm gonna change the camera color just because I don't like this blue, not a fan. And I'm gonna create a canvas and I'm gonna set it to screen space camera just because I prefer it this way. And I'm gonna use the canvas scaler and use this resolution 800 by 600 so you see it better on screen. And then I'm gonna enable the new input system, and we're ready. All we need now is an image. Actually, I'm gonna add an empty game object and I'll say subject, and I'm gonna add an image inside of it just so it's easier to see, less clutter. And this will be my color, actually background. And let's change the color to something nice, maybe an orange. I feel like orange now. Yeah, a bit more saturated. Perfect, I like it. All right, so like I said, we can move any rect transform with the UI Animator. This means that you can animate anything, and this is the magic part. Doozy UI has if you don't know this already, has its own value animator engine specially designed for UI use. It can be used in other situations, but this is the way it was designed. It has two heartbeats, so to update, to refresh rates. One for the editor, because you may have noticed that the UI is animated with the UI, and one for the runtime. These are the default values. You can change them if you want to. So for the editor, we have 60 FPS. That means that it will update 60 times per second, frames per second, right? And 90 times per second. If you want to change this, you can do it either from here, or you can also do it at runtime from code. This way you can optimize the refresh rate of your UI. This may be useful if you're targeting mobile devices and you want to save on battery. You can also go 120 or even at maximum FPS when it updates as fast as it can. So this is why I'm saying that Reactor has been optimized to work like this, because it doesn't do calculations and updates if it doesn't have to. So if you set a 30 FPS and the device is set at 120, it won't update this often. It depends on your use case. Let's go back to 90 and let's start. So I'm gonna say Doozy. I'm gonna add a component, Doozy Reactor Animators. And like I said, we have a color animator that can color from A to B, so from red to green, for example. It really doesn't matter. A sprite animator, and this is a frame by frame animator. We're not going to cover these two specifically in this example, because it will take probably a few hours to cover them all. And we're going to use the UI Animator. Right away, it adds a canvas. It does that because Unity, if you update an object, and it doesn't have its own canvas, it will update everything. You will have to find your balance between draw calls and refresh and the refresh rate. So we have here a canvas group, a graphic raycaster, if you want to capture clicks, and of course the UI Animator. And this may look simple, but it's quite complex. Here you have an animation tab where you can see these things. Then you have a behavior tab when you can set some different settings, and you can also name it. The animations are move, rotate, scale, fade. You also have some callbacks on play, on stop, and on finish. An animation can stop and it may not finish. It can stop before it finishes, basically, depending on what happens in the UI. And here you add the callbacks for that. And you also have presets, and there are a lot of presets. All right, where to start? Well, first of all, let's start with the animation. There are, I don't know, 5 or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 types of animations. At this time, you have a show animation, a hide animation, and these two are usually connected. A loop, a button, a state, reset, and custom. Let's start with the first one, a show animation. I'm going to enable a move. And right away, you see you have a widget here, move from, and you can select from where do you want this square, this subject to move. Reactor calculates the position, the from position for this rectangle. Let's start. I'll try to be as clear as possible. One more thing that appears at runtime, you have a way to see your animation, so you can play it. You can play it in reverse. You can, if you cannot see it here, you can say go to the target position, to the to position, go to the from position, play in reverse, play, stop, right? And you can also reverse the animation. So this is how this works. So, all right. So now we have a move animation from the left. If I say go from the right, it's able to calculate where to put this rect transform. It calculates from the parent, and it gets the size, the rotation, and the scale of your rect transform, and it does the math where it should be in order to play nicely. As you can see, you do not see it here in the view, so it's right outside. It's right here. If I change the size, let's say 300 and 300. Again, it's able to calculate. Let's change the size to 30 and 600. Again, you can hide it and it will go as expected. Let's go to the top. And this is how this works. And let's go back. Let's show. And let's say 200 and 200. All right. So hide, show, and reverse. All right, so it's able to calculate the positions, and you say move to start value. If you want, you can move to a custom value and say I would like to move to minus 200 and minus 200. So somewhere over here, something like that. So let's say play, and it will go like that. That's the position. Let's say minus 100, minus 100. Let's make this smaller. All right, so let's click. All right. If it goes from the left, again, it's able to calculate from the right, from the bottom. What about from the center? So if you say from the top, it goes from here. So this is the position. But if you say top center, this would be the position. It just changes, right? Let's move to the top right. Again, you get the idea. That's how it works. It's able to calculate all the positions. What if we have a custom rotation? It will also be able to handle it. Let's say 45 degrees. And let's move to the left. And notice that the corner is not visible here. And if I didn't have a rotation, this would be the position. There you go. So it's very important to understand that it also takes rotation into its calculation. And it also does that for scale. So let's say from start value, let's add an offset 1, 1. And of course, it will be bigger. The position X change it. Let's remove the scale and the position changed. So it's able to take all that into calculation, and this is how it looks. Now, why am I showing you this? Well, I'm trying to explain that show and hide allow you to have calculated positions. Let's go to the start value. And let's continue. So the show animation type that you can see here allows you, gives you the power of Reactor that does a lot of math behind the scenes to give you the from position. And this is important because these animations are math based. What does that mean? Well, if your user has a different target device, let's say it has another resolution, it has full HD on portrait mode. Well, it's able to calculate these positions. Let's say it's a 16:9 landscape. Again, we can play in reverse. It will play it as expected. 1 second, that's it. And this is why it's important to use this system, and you cannot use Unity's animator because that uses absolute values. You have to say -100, -200 or whatever, as a set value, while this one uses math-based. It uses math to determine the positions. So this widget in the show animation is for the from position, the origin, right? So if we have a hide animation, let's just change it. Usually you don't change this at runtime. So if you see something that appears strangely, yeah, so let's say hide. Yeah, it didn't initialize yet. To the right. Yeah, there you go. So now it's able to hide it. So if I play, the widget is on the two sides. So let me just duplicate this. Actually, let's say subject, and let's say show animation, and let's move it here. Let's say 100, and let's duplicate and say hide. I just want to show you the differences between them, -100. And let's also change the colors. So let's say for hide, I'm going to use a teal maybe, or a blue. Yeah, let's go with a complementary color, something like that. Perfect. So this will be our show. Let's also add a text. So this will be show. Bang, bang. Beautiful. Can you see it? Yes. 30, 24. Yeah. And let's make it dark. So this is our show animation. Why are you looking so bad? And our hide animation. So let's copy component values. What am I doing here? Copy component and paste component values. All right. And this is our hide. Perfect. Oh, so this is our show from the left, and this is our hide. Hide to the right. All right, let's enter play mode. So there you go. This is a show animation. If I click play, it will play show. this is a hide animation. It will hide, right? Let's reverse it. Okay, so the difference between these two is that, let's go on the show animation. The widget is on the from, so the origin position. It calculates where it should come from. So in this particular thing, it's on actually on this side, right? You see it on this side, yeah. And this one has the widget on the destination, right? So if I play, it's right here. It starts here, ends here. Of course, if I put it on the left side, it will just disappear there. So, yeah. So these are the two main animations for show and hide. They are used for containers, and you can also use them to show and hide different things. And later in this tutorial, I'm going to show you some different types of animations and interactions that you can use them for. And they're quite amazing because they're math-based. You don't care about the resolution, the display, and the device that they'll be shown on, because they'll always be able to adapt. These animations are adaptable. All right, so we've seen show and hide, right? Let's just delete this. Let's center this, and let's say A for animation. All right, the next animation is a loop animation. And I'm going to use a preset. Oh, I forgot to tell you about presets. Each type of animation, let's open here. Right now, we do not have a in-editor preview mode. We will add it with an update. But you can see here that each type of animation has a number of presets. You have around 1,600 presets in total. You can add them and you will see the total number. And each one is designed for the specific animation type it covers. So for show animations, let's see the presets. You can see them here. If you change the animation type, also the presets change. So let's load, let's say, bounce number 1, right? Right away, I see a move animation is enabled, a scale and a fade. Let's enter play mode and let's see the animation. Basically, you're loading settings for the animations. So let's click play, and this is how it looks. Do you want to bounce from the bottom? Just change this, and you just, so you can also, even if you use the preset, you can say, oh, I would like it to move a bit slower. There you go. So you can do a lot of crazy stuff like that. You can customize every animation. Every part of your animation can be set to your desired specifications because it's math. Let's select another one. Organic 1, load. Organic 21, load. I'm just showing you that you have a lot of animations. Shake, number 1. Shake, number 6. All right. Spin, number 1. Spin, number 6. Let's go with a zoom animation. Load, and let's check it out. Number 1, number 2. So, and this is the reverse. So we can play it and reverse it. Actually, the fade is quite fast, so reverse doesn't look nice. All right, number 3, number 4, you get the idea. So depending on your use case, you might want to play with them. Let's say you like this animation. Let's say you also want to add a move. Let's say move from the bottom in point 2. Yeah, let's see how this looks. I don't really like it. Let's say 0.4. In back, no, I don't like. Let's say out of expo, just move fast. Okay, so let's say I like this animation. I just customized it to my preference. Well, you just copy component, exit play mode, and paste component values. And this way you just added your last settings. Let's enter play mode and let's check out. I should have the same animation. So let's test it out. All right. Of course, what I need to tell you is that you can create your own presets here. So you can say new preset. You can also create a new category, and you can add one of these categories with a new preset name, and you can use your own things. All right, let's just cancel this. Of course, if you want to see where the presets are, you just select one, and here you can, oh, let's go in project view, find preset, and you'll see, okay, this is the asset file that contains the settings for this preset. So it's all very easy to find. This is a way to be as transparent with you, because you're a developer and you want to have access to everything to customize how you see fit. So that's why you have these tools at your disposal. You can also find, let's say, slide 2, number 23, find it. It's gonna select it right away. So this is it. As you can see, category slide 2, preset name 23, and these are the settings. And there are quite a lot of settings. All right, enough talk. Let's continue. I said hide animation. Hide has different types of presets. So now we're gonna go and show you some hide animation presets. Oh, and we didn't even get to the load preset. So this is a hide animation, right? We didn't even get to the settings load. I'm just showing you animations. So yeah, load preset. So these are, as you can see, different animations, but they are designed specifically for this. Again, here we have a problem, and we might want to add a -20 offset and just adjust it. Actually, 20 offset. Let's go. Why didn't it offset? Move. Oh, perfect. Yeah, this happens when you change the animations at runtime. All right, so these are the ghost. Interesting. Ghost number 4. Okay, so these are the show and hide animations. Let's go for the button animations, right? So what did I tell you? A button animation is set to simulate a button click usually, or a button reaction. And there are ping pong animations. I'm going to explain in a second what these are. But let's go for, actually, no, the next is the loop animation. All right, so let's load the preset. Let's load the default preset. And what is it? Is a move up and down for 1 second, ping pong, infinite loops. So basically now it's going to move up and down. This is the animation. I forgot to start it. Let's also show the behavior. So you have 2 types of behaviors. Behavior on start, that happens once when it's instantiated, or on enable. Whenever it's enabled, it will do something. So let's go behavior on start, play forward. So now when we enter play mode, you'll see the animation has started and we don't need to do anything. And this is a simple floating animation. Of course, we can change it. Let's say -20 and 20. And let's start it again. Let's go like that. And this is a bit more clear. Let's go from left to right. Again, let's say -20, 0, 20, 0 again. And you can change it. So yeah, that's the easy part. And of course, we have our loop presets. Let's select a twirl and let's play it. This is a bit crazy, but I don't know, we may want to show some things here. Yeah, some are more crazy than others. Let's go with drift animation. As you can see, it turns it around. Yeah. Let's say I do not like the rotation here. Just remove it and let's see how this looks. You get the idea. You can create any type of loop animation. All right, let's go to button. I'm moving as fast as I can because there are a lot of things to cover. And yeah, like I said, let's load the default preset. So let's go default, load preset. This is a scale animation, and I see that it's gonna make it a bit smaller. So we have a negative offset from the start value. It's gonna also play because I think we have a behavior enabled. Yeah, there you go. Let's just play, and you can imagine that you're clicking this, and this is the basic move animation, a basic button animation. Let's select a flip, and you can click it and it will look like that. There are a lot of different settings, and you can go crazy with them. I don't like the scale. I'm just gonna remove it, and this is how it looks. I don't like that it moves so much. I'm just gonna change it, and it moves a little bit less. Let's say I want it to move up, and I just change this. And I like the animation. I'm just trying to, I just copy the component, exit play mode, paste component values, and there you go. Now I have my move animation that just works. So let's click it, and it works, right? Of course, you can also reverse it. Next animation, state animation. This is a bit different. For example, let's say you would like, when the user hovers the mouse over something, an image or a button, you would like to have it a bit bigger. So it goes from state A, its initial, its resting state, to another state. Well, this is a state animation. So when the animation finished, the object has new properties. You know, it can have a new position, a new scale, rotation, or fade, whatever. It doesn't matter. So let's load the preset. What does this do? Well, this state moves this object minus 20 pixels. Let's go minus 100. So this is a bit obvious. Let's enter play mode. All right. So I cannot do anything because it doesn't work. It just, let's just reset it. So from start value. So actually I would like to go on the y-axis, minus 100. Actually go up 100. 50, not that much. All right. So the state animation leaves the object in a new state, but you will always want to go back to the initial state. And that's where the other type of animation, the reset animation, comes in, right? So let's play. And again, this would go from the current value. Why do we, if, oh, this is important. If I say go there from the start value, the animation will always be the same, right? But the state animations usually are configured to go from a current value. That means wherever this is, whenever I play this animation, I know that this object will go to the proper position, this position. Move it here, it will go there. So that's why it's called a state, because you define where you want this object to go. And regardless of where it is on the screen, I can even move it here. It really doesn't matter. When I play this, it will come here in 0.2 seconds. So that is why it's called a state, from state A to state B. Whew. This is as hard for me as it is for you to try to explain this and be as explicit as possible, by the way. These tutorials are hard, I tell you. Reset animations. All right, reset animation, unlike the state, it, regardless of where your item is, where position-wise, rotation-wise, scale-wise, or even alpha-wise, or transparency, or fade, it will always go back to the start values. That is why you use a reset value. The buttons use it a lot. So basically, if you go to selected state or press state, and then you go back to normal, well, normal should usually be a reset state to its default values. That's why you need to use it. And reset also allows you to use different types of eases and timings, and you can create interesting animations with it. All right, let's go to reset. Reset usually has all the animations enabled, and they go from the current value, regardless of what that value is, and go back to their initial state. And I'm going to show you. Let's load a, I don't know, motion number 1, right? So notice here that this reset is configured to go from a current value, it doesn't care where it is, to the start value in 0.2 seconds. Rotation again, current value to the start value. This is an instant animation. Scale from current value to start value. I don't like this rotation that is, let's say let's say 3 seconds, actually 1, right? And a scale and then a fade, right? So let's enter play mode. And now we're gonna, so if I click play, it shouldn't happen anything. It doesn't, it seems as if it doesn't work. But let's move it here. For whatever reason, this wound up here. If I click play, it will go back to its initial position, right? If I put it here, if I rotate it, and if I change the scale, because I'm a maniac, let's press play, and it returns to its initial values. So that's why you need a rotate. Let's go with 0.2 here for the rotation. And you'll notice the movement has an out back. So if I put it here, it goes like so. Let's say movement in 2 seconds. So I'm gonna put it here and say reset. And this is how it works. Let's change the ease to a out expo. So it goes fast and then slow at the end, right? I also know the easies. That's why there you go. Or maybe you want to go very fast. Let's go in expo. So start slow and then bang, there it is. Whew. All right, so that was the reset animation type. You should also play with the presets. So let's load another one. Let's say, I don't know, organic number 14. All right, you have different settings here. So let's move it somewhere over here and let's play. Actually, we should move it. We should also rotate it. And let's change the scale to 2 and 2. And let's also change the alpha to something like that. Let's say 0.2. When I click play, it will just jump there. If you do not want it to jump, well, let's say a move in 0.4 seconds. And yep, this is how it looks. And let's also mess it up a bit. Change the scale, make it like so, change the alpha and reset. So that's the importance of the reset animation type. And finally, it's dealer's choice custom animation. I'm just gonna load the default. That is a simple move. And yeah, this is whatever you want. Remember that only show and hide are the ones that have that math thingy. So they're the ones that calculate that. Now you saw me make that animation with this canvas, but you can also, it uses the rect transform that is inside of. I know this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for me as well. So I'll say container. It's easier to show than to explain. Let's give it an alpha. Let's say 255 multiplied by 5% transparency. Yeah. Let's make it 300 by 300. And let's put this subject. So this thing inside the container. I'm gonna use show, and I'm gonna load a preset. So let's load the default show animation. Actually, this is a simple move from the left. Now let's enter play mode. Now the calculations are done between the subject and the container. Check it out. I forgot that the behavior was enabled. Sorry. So let's do this. All right, so now the position is according to this container. This is it. It's no longer the screen. So I think you get it. You get the idea. It calculates depending on this position on this container. So if I change the container size, let's say 600, now the subject will be able to calculate this. Let's go back. There you go. You can even change this. Yeah, it's math based. What can you do? All right, so this is something that you should keep in mind. Let's say I want to add something here, and I want to have it hidden. Well, I just add here a rect mask. There you go, it's gone. Of course, it's here. If I click play, it appears like that. So you can create a lot of fancy stuff. All right, next, let's talk about the settings and how. Let's go to a custom animation type and talk about these settings. So you understand the start value, you understand the offset. The offset is basically if I say move from start value with an offset, let's say minus 100. Let's play the animation. Actually, let's do this in play mode. So here I'm going to say, where is minus 1? If I click, it's start value, that is 0, 0, 0 plus minus 100. So if I click here, go to start position, this is it, minus 100. If I say 100, it will go up. And then I can say start value. It's going from from position is the start value, to position is start value. This is the anchor value, right? But if I say move from current value to the start value, so it can be anywhere, it can be here, and it can go like that. Let's remove the offset. So this is all right. Or I say move from the start value to the current value. Of course, this has to be a actually to start value plus 200. All right, so it always go there, minus 200. All right, let's say okay, and go back. Start delay. Start delay, it's very easy. 1 second start delay. If I click play, 1 second, then it plays. That's it. It's nothing fancy. What it does have, it has this dice, and this allows you to set custom start delay, and you can set an interval, minimum and maximum. And this is available for the start delay, duration, number of loops, and you can even set a random delay between loops. This is so you can create randomized things. So again, duration is 1. I can say duration between 1 and 2 seconds. Actually, let's say between 0.5 and 2 seconds, so it's more obvious. I'm going to remove the start delay. So this can move faster or slower. I'm just restarting the animation over and over again. So you can see that it is always a random value. Let's use the loops. Let's say I want 2 loops. It's 0, 1, of course. So let's say 1 and 2. Let's say I want infinite loops, minus 1. And now, just watch. Notice that you have a random duration. It's 0.5, between 0.5 seconds and 2 seconds. And this goes again and again. All right. And now you can say, okay, I want the animation to be a set value, 1 second every time. And I want to have a delay between a loop delay for 1 second. So it will wait to have a loop, 1 second, another loop, 1 second, another loop, 1 second. And I can say, okay, let's say between 0 and 1 seconds for the loop delay. So some may start, some may take longer. So let's say 1 and 2 seconds. Yeah. All right. Play mode. Now we go into something more interesting. Let's stop this. And let's say move from -200 to 200, right? So I want this movement. And I would also like to add some things here for easier understand. So point A will be, let's go here. Give me one small second. Let's say A, position A, and this will be position B. A and B. Let's say high. All right. So let's enter here. So -200, 0, and 200. Perfect. Because I would like to explain how the play mode works. It is very interesting, by the way. All right. So the play mode will go from A. Let's move it somewhere here, from point A to point B. And B is for bees. All right. So this is the normal play mode, right? It goes from A to B. Easy. Now you have ping pong. Ping pong will go from A to B and then back to A. That's how it works. And it does that in 1 second. So it have 0.5 seconds from A to B, 0.5 seconds from B to A. And let me show you. So let's go from A. So you'll see bang, bang. Right? So this is ping pong. If I say this in 2 seconds, it will take 1 second from A to B and 1 second from B to A. And let's check it out. Yeah, you get the idea. The next one is spring. And here you have strength, vibration, and elasticity. The spring is something that goes from a level and then goes high and then with diminishing returns. So let's click play. Let's go from 0 to 200. And let's make the vibration a bit smaller. There you go. It goes slower and slower. And you can also change the, let's say, vibration 8, elasticity 0. Let's try it like that. And this is how it looks. Let's say 0.5. All right. It really depends on your use case. And you can also change the ease and so on. And then you have shake. Shake violently vibrates between the from and the to value. And you can also say a fade out shake that smooths it out. Jesus, I cannot talk, I'm tired. At the end. So something like that. Vibration 4. Let's say strength 0.2. So you get the idea. Let's say 0 and it won't work. Let's say 10 and you may want to vibrate a bit more. 1, just playing with the settings. You can vibrate for 2 seconds and there you go. This is how it works. I don't know how you see it. Is it okay? Yeah. Of course, this works for everything. So now we're playing with move, but let's say rotate, right? So I want to rotate from -60 to 0, actually to 60. And let's say rotate. Actually, let's go from 30 to 0. So let's go from here. Yeah, something like that. Infinite loops. Let's play. So this is a normal mode of playing this animation. If you change the play mode to ping pong, it works like that. All right, and I can say here -30. So now it works like that. All right. Again, normal mode. It just jumps back. Ping pong goes back and forth. It really it's not the naming thing, it's just what it does. That's how you have to see it. And of course spring that is a bit insane for this, because it doesn't make any sense. Let's say strength 2, and this is how it works. You just have to find whatever it's good for you. And shake, yeah, it's a bit crazy. All right. Again, for scale, I'm not going to show that. It's the same thing. All right, let's just reset this. So reset, let's go to default. Yep, perfect. Again, let's go to custom and let's load the default one. All right, so now that we've talked about start delay, duration, loops, and loop delay, you can set them. There's the ease, the daisies, right? So it can move from -200 to 200. And let's go for the first ease, linear ease. So this is a simple ease, right? Actually, I'm gonna create, I need 2 of them. Let's say no more A and B. Let's move the subject out. Let's hide the container. So this will be our linear ease just for control. So let's say loops -1, duration 2, ease linear. All right, so this is our control. Let's create one more. And let's move it down a bit. Let's change its color to our, yeah, this is good enough. Let's kill the text here. And this is control, and this is subject. All right. Whew. All right, what animations do we have here? So let's go with a linear ease. All right, let's enter play mode. I'm just trying to show you the different types of eases that you can do. I'm gonna play both of them at once. So this is how they work, right? Now, if I change the ease on the subject, on the green one, right? Actually, it's a teal, but it doesn't matter. Let's say easy. Notice how it changed. It changed in easy. Again, it's a different type of animation. Let's change it again, out easy. Let's go with in quart. They finish at the same time, by the way. Out back, this is easier to understand. Are they still synchronized? Let's check it out. So they start at the same time and finish at the same time. There you go. Let's remove the infinite loops part. There you go. They finish in 2 seconds. Let's go with 1 second for both of them. But one is linear and one is different. You can also set an animation curve, and you can go crazy with this, by the way. I cannot. All right, so let's go like that. Let's click play for both of them. So play, this is a linear curve, as you may know, but if I change the curve to something like that, you will notice that they also change. All right, let's go with a crazy curve now. So I'm gonna say I like to go like this and like so. This will be a bit insane, so bear with me. This is how the curve looks now. It can also use that. And if you play in reverse, it will respect the curve in the inverse direction. So it goes the other way around. All right, so this is it for the animations and all the settings. Of course, you have the callbacks here, you have behavior. You can name your animations. So I don't know if I said that, but you can say this is my jump animation, and I can also make it like that. So say 0, 1 second from here, just so I can remember what type of animation this is. So let's say from from here, go to minus 200 and go to ping pong. Yeah, this would be a jump animation, I think. Yeah. So 50 and 0.2, and let's say spring. Okay, so now we have a jump animation. Again, I'm gonna copy the component so I can save the settings, paste component values. And let's enter play mode. And now I know that this is a jump animation because otherwise you cannot remember them, right? All right, so now that I've shown you this, let's make some magic. Get ready. Do I want to do that now? Yeah. Like I said, Doozy UI is a set of systems that are interconnected and they know to talk with each other. You can extend most of them, and you can customize almost every system. One of the systems that I haven't talked about until now, because I'm doing it, is the Mody system. This is a special modules, actions, and triggers system. And what I want to do is have a bit of fun. So I'm going to duplicate this. So actually, no. I'm going to use this particular. Do I like this? So let's create an image. Let's create an image and say this is our zone. Let's say something like that. So special zone, right? And I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to color it with a purple, something like that. Actually, give me a blue. Yeah. All right. And what I want to do here, whenever my mouse moves over it, I want to play an animation forward. And when the mouse moves out, so on pointer exit, I want to play the same animation in reverse. All right. So how do I do that? Well, there are some Doozy UI modules, and I'm going to use the animator module. I'm going into a bit of a more complex scenario, but bear with me. So I'm going to drag and drop this control because I know this has an animator. I'm going to say available actions, play forward, and yeah, just play forward for now. And here I'm going to say a trigger, provider ID, and I'm going to click on, let's say on pointer click. Let's use the click. And that's it. Let's enter play mode. Right now, I just added a pointer click functionality on this particular thing. And whenever we click it, we're gonna click it, that thing jumps. Let's say I want to have a text appear here when I click it. And the text should be click me, for example, right? So I'm gonna add a text. Now say click me, right? Let's see in scene view right here. So let's move the text here. Let's make it a bit smaller. Actually, let's make it as big as this one. Okay. And let's add an animation here. So add UI Animator. And what do I want to do? Well, I want to scale this in. So scale from 0, custom value 001 to start value 111 in 0.4 seconds, in and out back. All right. So I want to scale for this, and behavior at start set from value. All right. So if you enter play mode, you won't see the text because the animation has played already, right? You do not see it. And now let's come here and let's add another animator module, UI Animator module. And this will be our text. Let's just rename this animation and say scale text, right? Just so we can see what we're doing here. And let's rename this module to be our click animations. I can read it here. That's why I'm adding it. And here I'm going to say pointer, enter, exit, and exit. Yeah. And here I'm going to add this animation, scale text, and here I have a jump, right? And I'm going to say play forward and play in reverse. Play forward when, I know I'm moving a bit faster. This is going to be in another tutorial, but I'm just showing you some things that you can connect animations in various ways. So say provider ID, on, pointer, enter, just play forward this animation, and on pointer exit. This system is huge. Yeah, play the animation reverse. And just by using a few clicks, notice that I haven't written a single line of code. I'm not touching the... We now have a text that appears, and we're also moving that. So let's come here, and it didn't... Oh, what did I miss here? So show animation, pointer, enter. Oh, damn. I should have here pointer exit. My bad. All right, now it should work. They were canceling each other. All right, so click me and it's out. Yeah, you can imagine what I can do. You can also add another animation, let's say a color animation. Let's color this. Let's color this blue when we hover over, right? So let's use a color animator, and this animation will be from the current value, actually from the start value, this, to a custom value, this one. Again, I'm not going to show this animator. There are so many settings, it's insane. Otherwise this tutorial would last forever. And behavior, don't do anything at start. And here I'm gonna add another animation, and let's just, where is it? Yeah, let's just say here I'm gonna drag and drop this animation. No, not on the click, but on here. And now when we move the mouse over this click me, the text will appear, and this will change colors to blue. And when I click it, this happens. Of course, let's go even crazier. This is the last thing that I'm going to show you in this tutorial. I know it's long, but I couldn't make it. Let's create an empty game object. And this will be our, how should we call it? Our container. Let's add inside of it, let's go to the UI menu, and I would like to add a radial layout. Yeah, perfect, it's here. So now I have a radial layout. For this container, I'm gonna add a UI Animator, and I'm gonna say, let's go with a custom. I would like to rotate over and over again, a slow rotation from start value to 360 in 4 seconds in a linear fashion, for example. Let's also add a, and here in the radial menu, I'm gonna add some images, and this will be a 1. Let's let this control the size. So let's say 50 and 50. Yeah, this look good. Yeah, all right. Let's add 8, 9. Yeah, this looks good. Let's make them smaller, 20 and 20. So now we're basically rotating this thing over and over again. I'm just creating a spinner and having fun with it. And didn't start? No. So you can also do this. Radial should, yeah, I don't like this. You should have rotate children just so it looks better. So now you can rotate these. We're gonna do even more in a second. So let's enter play mode and check it out. Now they look like this. But why don't we rotate them all? So I'm gonna copy this animation and I'm gonna add it here. And again, let's say on enable, play forward. Again, this on enable, play forward. Now let's enter play mode. So you can actually create something like this. Oh, I forgot to set it to infinite loops. -1. Let's rotate in 8 seconds. And these, let's make them, again, infinite loops. And let's say different durations, 2 and 4. So we have different spinning things. Let's also add some scale. Again, let's say ping pong, duration 1. Start delay between 2 and 4 seconds, -1, duration 1 and 2 seconds, and let's go with 1 and 1. This is gonna be a bit crazy. And let's go for spring. I don't know. Let's enter play mode. So I've just created some complex animations with a few clicks. There you go. And you have yourself a loader. That is interesting. And of course, now I can scale it to 0.5.5 and yeah, just create your own loader. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm just trying to show you that you can create all kinds of animations. You can trigger them in various ways depending on your use case, and yeah, you can have fun with them and just change whatever you want to change. All right, that's it for this animation tutorial. There are a lot of things still that I haven't shown you for the color animation, frame by frame animations, but I'm gonna talk about them in other tutorials because this is getting quite long. I hope you liked it, that you learned a bit about how this works. It is very interesting to see. I'm gonna create other tutorials for this and interconnect them and create all sorts of crazy stuff. And yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I always forget to click this button. Let's come here. Yeah. If you like this kind of tutorials, like and subscribe. All right. Okay. See you in the next video. I'm quite tired. Bye bye.